You paint too now, I hear.
Yeah.
How did you get into painting?
Oh, I don't know. Just like, when I would come off the road and stuff, I would be wired, and I found that painting was a really good way to calm down and kind of a situation I could be in where I didn't have to collaborate, everything I do with music involves a lot of people, or if I'm doing like an acting job, there's hundreds of people involved in it. So I just kind of fell into it, and I realized over the years that to be able to do something by myself was really a good balance to, my public life.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to ask David a question or two? No?
Mercer Art Center was a good place. When we started the Dolls, it was when I was a kid in the 60s, when I was, 14, 15. Bleecker Street and McDougal Street were really rocking, and there was a lot of places to see music. The Night Owl and the Cafe A Go-Go and all these places, and you could see really great acts, like you would see Paul Butterfield and Muddy Waters for $3, And then they opened the Fillmore East, and that kind of consolidated all of that. But that was also great because you could see 3 great acts for $3. Totally diverse acts, it wasn't like so, I don't know, homogenized as it is today. And then when we came around, there was really no place to play. Everything was boarded up. I think there was some situation with cabaret laws or something, some kind of fascist dictum had come down, and a lot of the places had closed. So for us, we kind of just fell into the Mercer Art Center because Eric Emerson had a band called the Magic Tramps. And he said to me one day, I'm playing at this place, Mercer Art Center. You guys want to open for us? And I was like, yeah, we would play, we would play anywhere because we didn't have any place to go, really. So we went and played for him. And then people liked us a lot. So the guy who owned the place or ran the place, his name was Al Lewis. He was like an old-fashioned showbiz guy with like a bow tie and his hair parted in the middle, and like an old-fashioned agent kind of a guy. He said, oh, play again, after Eric played. So we played again, and then they offered us a night of our own every week in the Oscar Wilde room. So finally we had, a place to vent, which was good. And all these people started coming to the show who had been seeing each other on St. Mark's Place and here and there, but hadn't really had a situation to get together in. And this kind of brought this whole kind of scene, an instant scene together, because so many people were, looking for some kind of outlet for their rock and roll kind of ideas, and it all came together there. So we were very fortunate to be in the center of that at that time.
There's all kinds of stories going around with regards to how and why the Mercer Art Center collapsed.
It literally collapsed, yeah. I know a guy who was in it when it collapsed. But I think it was because, it was the old Broadway Central Hotel, and I think they gutted it out to make these showrooms, and it was like, a poor engineering job. Like they took out, when they were making these rooms, they took out like, master beams or whatever you want to call them. So
to get more people in.
No, just because somebody came in and said, oh, I can design this place beautifully, but he didn't really know anything about the basic architecture of the building, and then the subway was right under it, the R, and it would rumble through 500 times a day, and eventually the place caved in, Is there like a Zapruder film on that? It's on the internet. It must be true.
Well, any other questions?
The best business deal I ever made for myself? That's a tough one. I've made so many good ones. I think I've yet to make my best business deal. You know, with as far as business is concerned, it's such a horrible subject, but so distasteful to me. But when we were in the Dolls, we made disastrous business deals, you know, and still, you know, our publishing is like owned by others and stuff, and it's a drag. At one point, I was like really broke a couple of years ago, and I got this check because Guns N' Roses had done one of the Dolls songs, and I had like no money, and all of a sudden I got this like huge check from like heaven that I didn't even know that they had recorded this song, and like a gift. And I'm still thinking, those cocksuckers, I should have got twice as much as this. So that's where I'm at. No, we wrote it, but you know, we gave away the publishing or something, you know. In those days, you know, I mean, that's why I say it was my college, because I made every mistake possible, you know. But in those days, they would kind of cajole you into, if you don't sign a publishing deal, you can't make a record, kind of a thing. And when you're a kid, you know, all you want to do is make a record. You think, well, if I just can make a record, then all my problems are over, you know. But really, they aren't. You just have problems that everybody knows about. Well, I was just doing it in the show, you know, and there was a live record, the Animals medley, it was a live record, so it came out on the record, it was in the show, and they started playing it on MTV. That was all. Who did my makeup? Gee, I don't know, I guess I probably did it myself. I'm very good with hair and makeup. I'm not planning to, but you know, if somebody comes along and wants me to do it and they want to pay me, it's nice to get a check that you don't have to share with 15 people.
All right.
That's a good question. He might be here. Are you here, Buddy? I don't know where Buddy. Maybe he's in Attica.
All right, David, listen, I know you're in a hurry, so thanks a lot for coming.
Well, thanks for having me, Giorgio. Giorgio Gromowski, ladies and gentlemen.